This is an interview for Peep Magazine. We're joined with Carl, who was kind enough to share his story tonight of the Black Shuck. For the people who aren't familiar with the Black Shuck, it is a black phantom dog that haunts either Dartmoor, Devon, West Yorkshire, Lancashire, more regular East Anglia. It also goes by the name of Wish Towns. In Devon it goes by the name of the Yellhound. West Yorkshire it's the Gabriel Hounds. In Lancashire it's the Mysterious Striker. In East Anglia it's called the Old Shuck or the Black Shuck. There's been various stories and notes about this black dog that stalks graveyards and byways and off-beaten tracks. In 1577, in East Suffolk, Church of St Mary, there was reports of a rabid animal that burst into the church and actually killed a few people. It's believed to be either the guardian or the haunter of graveyards, slipping in between the living and the dead. Maybe it just depends on your state of mind at the moment, or what energies you're putting out, or what frequencies you're on. Either it becomes a bad omen or becomes a protector, a guardian. Cole, thanks for joining us tonight, pal.
Hiya, how are you doing?
Not bad, not bad. I got wind of the story about a month ago from Laura, so I was intrigued as soon as I heard about the Black Shuck, because I hadn't heard of the Black Shuck, and then she said, you should chat to me dad because he's actually seen one, and I'm like, right, I need to chat to him.
Yeah, it's a story I've obviously passed down through the years of the family,
and
they all like to talk about it.
So before we get into it, Cole, before we get into the sighting, has there been any other paranormal activity that you have experienced as a child or an adult, or any activity from your parents or anything like that?
Yeah, my gran was a spiritualist. That's me dad's mother. She was into reading tea leaves and stuff like that when she was younger. And I had a couple of incidents with her when I was younger, because I used to spend a lot of time in Scotland during the summer holidays. And there was an incident in a castle. I can't remember the name of the castle. It was in the Highlands anyway. I remember that. I was about 10, if I remember rightly. And basically went through this castle on the tour. I was with my auntie and my gran and my sister, and went through the dungeons, which meant to be scary and all over the place in the castle. And it was this one room that had nothing in it whatsoever, no furniture, and it was fine. This room, it had lights and windows and everything, and I wouldn't go in the room. And apparently I would just refuse to go in the room. I was kicking off, and my gran took us outside, and I was fine. And it wasn't until after my auntie and my sister come back that the tour guide had said that a lot of children won't go through this room because it's meant to be the most haunted in the castle.
Wow.
And so that was like my first experience.
Do you believe we've been here before, Carl, as kind of other souls or lost souls? Do you believe that we've had many layers of lives throughout our lives?
Yes. I think we've been reincarnated at one point. Definitely, yeah.
Are you aware of the British folklore history of the Black Shuck?
I am now. I wasn't really at the time. I knew the rumours of big black dogs and cats and stuff like that. But I wasn't like big into it, if you know what I mean. I didn't really know the full stories.
Yeah, you just kind of took it with a pinch of salt, like read or watched the odd thing, and that was it.
I'd seen it on like different programs and stuff like that, and books I read when I was younger. All the stories, And it was the big black dog and the black cat.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, up here in the northeast, it's more cats.
Right.
People have seen, but it's not like the thing you expect to see, you know.
Mm-hmm. You mentioned a documentary called The Myth Country on BBC iPlayer that explores the folklore of the Black Shuck. Did you draw comparisons when you were watching this, Call, about your own experiences?
A little bit, yeah. There was a couple of them they were talking about. The only difference was the eyes. A lot of them said the creature they had seen had red eyes.
Mm-hmm.
Mine didn't.
Mm-hmm.
My experience didn't. But apart from that, I think there was one guy and he was seeing it in a field.
Mm-hmm.
And it, like the size of the dog he was talking about and stuff like that. And they're very similar. Very similar.
Yeah, was that the guy in the car? If the story's correct, the dog must be getting up to about 30 to 40 miles an hour.
Yeah. It was fast, wasn't it? Yeah.
Terrifying, that, isn't it, really?
Oh, it is, yeah. Something like that chasing you.
It reminds us of a story I was watching on Netflix about this guy who was walking home, Texas, I think, at night, just coming back from his friends, you know, and he was going down the road, and you know the high wheat fields.
Yes.
He said he was just walking through there because that's where his friend's house was, and that's where his house was, just down the road. So he says he's done it 100 times. And he says just this time we had a few drinks and, you know, we stayed back late. And he says it was just like a normal night, just walking down the road, turn left, up the alley, and then through these wheat fields. And he says he happened to notice something in the wheat fields, you know. And he kind of didn't think anything of it at first because he thought it could be anything. It could be like a deer, or it could be anything out back, you know. There's lots of like little creatures and all the rest of it, and it's only that he got to the end of the like a crossroads that he's seen what he says he can only describe as kind of like a wolf, like a wolf man.
Yeah, like a werewolf.
Yeah, and he says he kind of started to walk a bit faster, but then when he upped his step, the dog man kind of upped its step. And then he realised fairly quickly he was being stalked, you know. And then he just...
Now that would be scary.
That would be quite scary. And then he says he just made it into a full-on sprint. And he says he could hear the dog thing, whatever it was, that made a full-on sprint, but that was running through the reeds, through the wheat fields. And he says he didn't look back, but he said he would never go that way again, and all the rest of it. But that must have been terrifying.
Oh yeah, any incident like that.
I mean, if we go back to British folklore, there's over 100 mythical creatures are said to roam Britain. 26 of those are from East Anglia, and the sightings date back to over 900 years. So there's a lot. There's a lot of stuff there to, you know, to think about and watch your back over, you know.
Yeah, and I mean, when I was younger, my gran used to talk about the horses, the mere horses in the lake in Scotland.
Right.
And it was like Loch Ness and stuff like that. Because we used to go up there. I can't remember it was like. Can't remember the exact name of the thing, but it was like a horse, like a fish stroke horse.
Wow. And
it lived in the lakes, or the lochs, and it was meant to be from Ireland as well. And loads of people have meant to have seen it. And it's meant to have been where the legend of the Loch Ness come from, because obviously these sightings went back hundreds of years.
Mm-hmm.
Not just back to I think it was 1933 when they started seeing the Loch Ness.
Mm-hmm.
Like the modern sightings. The Kelpie, I think it was called the Kelpie.
Oh, right, got you.
Yeah, my gran used to talk about the Kelpie all the time.
Wow, I mean, there's so much history in Ireland and Scotland and all the rest of it, you know, and especially Loch Ness. It's such a mysterious place, isn't it?
It is a beautiful place.
I haven't been. I've been to Edinburgh and all the rest of it, but I've never. It's me wish to go to Loch Ness. I kind of just want to go and soak up the atmosphere, you know.
The whole of Scotland and the Highlands and that is absolutely beautiful. Loch Ness, Arisaig, Mallaig. Honestly, everyone's got to go once in a lifetime. I think it's beautiful.
Yeah, definitely. So, okay, so we're going to go back to 2008 calls, so a night that you'll probably never forget. So, I believe you were working night shift.
Yeah, they just stay in the factory. I won't name the company I work for.
Right, got you. Could you say where it was, Carl?
Yeah, it was up next to where the B&Q is now, in Washington.
Washington, that's where I was trying to think. I couldn't think of it. Without giving too much detail about the company, could you tell us about what you were kind of doing in the job and who you were with?
Yeah, there was just, normally there's like, I used to work night shift and there was either 2 or 3 of us. And it was like a little engineering company. And in this, well, like the factory units, everyone else was shut. No one else worked nights apart from us. So come, say, 7 o'clock, it was dead up there. No cars, because it was a cul-de-sac. And it was just no cars, nothing. It was quiet. You probably got a police car going up there once in a blue moon. That was about it.
Yeah.
Not much footfall. Nothing, especially not that time in the morning, 2 o'clock in the morning when we had our breaks.
I've kind of looked at the place, and it's kind of like an elongated factory with kind of like a small allotted part of like woods and shrubbery.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yes, yeah. And so, like the yard at the back.
Like a yard at the back. So were you at the other end where it's got like a small bit of woods and...
Yeah, and you've got like the yard and stuff. So it was like the big gates. I think they've got the same gate now still.
Right.
And that's where you would walk up. Well, that's what we did. You would normally go to the back door if you wanted to have a cigarette or something. But we would just walk up the gate, you know?
Yeah, of course.
So it was about 2 in the morning. Obviously, food in the microwave. You go out for a cigarette. So I went out and went to the gate, and it was funny. Like at the time, you don't notice these things, but then you think, because it was quiet, but it was like you just had this feeling. You know, there's something not quite right.
What did the air feel a bit different, or?
Yeah, the whole thing felt a bit different. Like just, I don't know the word for it.
Like an oppressive kind of atmosphere or something.
Kind of, yeah. Not normal. And we'd go out 2 o'clock in the morning, have our breaks and stuff. And it was around about that time, and I went outside for a cigarette. And there's like a gate at the back. There's nothing about, and it was a bit eerie that night because there was only 2 of us, if I remember rightly. There might have been 3, but I'm pretty sure there was only the 2 of us. And I was at the gate, and I was obviously having my cigarette, and it was, do you know when you just get that feeling?
Yeah, like
something's not right. And it was a big old gate, and that's when I saw it. It was just there, it just appeared. When I turned around, in my head it was like a Great Dane, but it was hairy. But it was big, it was massive. And it just walked up to the gate, and it was staring at us, and we're talking a good 15-20 seconds. And there was like a low growl coming from it. You know when you get instant fear, it's like the hairs on the back of my neck and that and everything, and it was like, I want to say this, it's like, you know, Game of Thrones. They're going about the direwolves and stuff, and it was looking at us, and it was like a low, and it must have been a good 15-20 seconds, and then I just took my eyes off it, and I looked to see if the other lad was at the door having a cigarette.
Mm-hmm.
There was no one there, and I turned back and it was wandering off. And then I went to go and get him, and I come out and it had gone. But from where we were, you should have been able to see something on the path either way.
It was at least the size of a Great Dane, and then...
Probably bigger, to be honest.
Probably bigger. Did you see the eyes?
You could see the eyes, kind of, with the light that was there. I want to say the light of the stars and the moon, but I don't even know if the moon was out. Because it was quite an overcast night, kind of. And that's what I was locked on, the fear, you know what I mean? It's like the size of the dog. That dog could have jumped over the gate in one hop if it wanted to. It was that big.
Yeah, so, I mean, how do you feel about, you know, something bigger than a Great Dane that looks quite aggressive and it's just staring at you? I mean, what...
I was thankful the gate was there.
Yeah.
That went through my head, but it just, like I say, the pure size of it, and I was just frozen. It was a good 15-20 seconds I was just staring at it, and it was staring at me, and like I say, the only time it was the low growl.
It was like a keep away growl or a aggressive...
Just like I'm in control of the situation type of growl.
Yeah.
There's nothing you can do, you know what I mean?
So
it could have been like a warning growl, but I didn't feel like it was. But what got me, it's obviously I was looked for the lad behind us, and I looked, and it was what it turned, and it just started walking away, and then I looked back again, like turned away for a split second, back again, it gone.
Did it disappear, gone, you know, or did it just stroll off? Do you think, or it disappeared?
No, it disappeared. It couldn't have gone, because when you look, there's like it's like an open space. It couldn't have just disappeared. That's what got us, and I was like, so I got the other lad, told him, and he felt something as well. He never saw.
He didn't see it,
but he knew something wasn't right, and I told him straight away what had happened, and he believed us because he had felt not right either, you know. So there's big glass windows upstairs in the factory, and we both raced upstairs to see if we could see this dog or creature, and we couldn't see a thing. And we were looking all over, and like I say, if it ran off, I think you would. That was another thing. There was no sound hardly. You know, when you hear a dog, there's no sound, it's quiet. You can hear the dog on the pavement, like the sound of its claws, the sound of its feet. And if it ran off you, but there was hardly any sound, apart from the growl. No sound apart from the kind of like the warning growl sign that like don't. Yeah, just like a low growl. That's all it was, a low growl. I can kind of relate to that fear because my friend told us a few years ago, off the subject slightly, but it is related. He was in a pub, like a crowded pub in town, right? Yeah. And he was just meeting another one of our friends. I wasn't there at the time. He just talked about this night. So he's drinking. Imagine a crowded bar. It was about 7, 8 o'clock, not late. Says he was just like drinking, chatting. There was a group of people there who he was talking with, and you could just see heads like kind of along the bar. Do you know, if you're tall, you can just see heads like all over the bar. Yeah. The music was quite loud and all that, and then all of a sudden, someone came in the pub with a wolf's head on. Do you know, like a full on pull over your head, hairy wolf head with the fangs and all that. Yeah. And he says he went to put his drink up, and he says his heart just stopped with fear. Yeah. And he says everything went like quiet, and he says he was just fixated on this guy coming in with a wolf's head on. And I'm thinking, if that's the kind of fear that someone can bring in a crowded pub, imagine the fear a dog in real life, like what looks like a wolf, or is just staring at you in the dead of night just by yourself. I can kind of 100%. Yeah. Oh, it can cause pure fear. I mean, I love dogs, and obviously when I'm out and about, but I'm still wary. I'll still always be wary now.
You're always kind of looking up.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're always kind of looking over your shoulder.
Yeah. Just in case.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Did you, the moment this happened, Cole, did you instantly realise what you were witnessing, or did you have to take a second look and think, what am I actually looking at here? Or did you realise instantly?
I didn't realise instantly it was like the Black Shuck or what it was. It was just pure fear at first, before I got to process anything.
Oh, yeah.
Like in the moment, it was just like, you were so scared, you were like, what the hell?
Do you believe the dog to be a physical object, or more of a metaphysical or kind of a spiritual being? Do you know, like...
I think at the time, I thought it was physical. Because hearing it, seeing it with my own eyes and everything, but more and more, because it disappeared, I don't know if it was something else. It was just an apparition that appeared to us, or something along those lines.
Some people say, like in ancient folklore, that wherever the dog is being seen, it could be on like landlines, and like within a supernatural context. Often like kind of serving as a bridge between the living and the dead, kind of a local landmark or churchyard or a graveyard. They all seem to be hanging around these kind of areas. So I'm wondering.
I suppose you don't know if they're like ley lines in Washington. I couldn't tell you where they were. I did believe that there was some.
Yeah.
Because obviously back then Washington was just little villages, little farms, and mostly fields and stuff. Back hundreds and hundreds of years ago, I do believe there was a bit of a massacre at one point.
Right.
I can think of back in history. I think it was Washington Village, but obviously it was the surrounding farms, and there was a bit of a massacre. I don't know if it was the Vikings. I can't remember now. I can't remember the story.
Yeah, well, they could have been kind of responsible for bringing the thing across here, couldn't they?
Oh yeah. The folklore come with the Vikings. Yeah. I mean, it was all of this area that were in charge that took over the whole lot. So obviously their mythology come over as well. In the 9th or the 10th century, wasn't it? Yeah.
With being pagans and then integrating into our Christianity and mixing with the Anglo-Saxons and all the rest of it, you get a good hodgepodge of styles and mythologies, you know.
Oh, 100%. There's loads of different things in the northeast as well.
There's been various accounts of the Black Shuck being the protector. I've read a story of a woman talks about a dog appearing from nowhere at night and then like kind of following her behind her, and then once she got to her house it kind of disappeared. Yes. And then there's been other stories of the Black Shuck to be a bad omen, haunts graveyards and basically makes people feel so uncomfortable that it's like either fight or flight. And I'm just thinking which one was it with you, Cole? Do you think it could have been a protector?
I don't think it was a bad omen, because nothing really bad happened.
Yeah.
So I would have to say it was more neutral or a good omen. Because, like I say, at the time, nothing serious happened. I moved on from that job to another job I wanted to. There was no one passing in the family at that time. Everything was quite stable at that time.
And then after the experience, Cole, your friend kind of didn't see it, but your friend could feel a sense that something wasn't right as well when you went upstairs.
100%, yeah. I mean, he's just a young lad as well, but he instantly believed us when I told him, because he looked frightened as well. Right. That's what I mean. I think he sensed something was wrong.
So it was kind of in the air, like it changed the whole atmosphere of this dog.
Yeah. 100%, yeah.
And then you didn't experience anything peculiar. You went upstairs, you had a look around, you couldn't see anything, the dog's gone.
No, couldn't obviously see anything. We looked for thingy, well, obviously make sure all the doors were locked. And for the next couple of weeks, we just went to the back door. We didn't go to the back gate or anything. You know, we didn't push our luck.
yeah, definitely. See, because with the dog kind of staring you down, I'm just trying to get my head around. You know, I'm trying to get my head around what the Black Shuck was thinking, but because I've heard so many other stories of either being an omen or protector, and I kind of got to go with what you're saying. It was maybe protecting you at some point.
Maybe it might have been good luck. Some might have stopped something happened with one of the machines.
Yeah.
Sometimes the machines, the tools can break. If I went in, had my cigarette and went in, and the tool had broke, could have cut my hand or something. You know what I mean? Anything really. So it could have been along them lines. I would like to think it is, and it wasn't a bad omen.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the first sighting is believed to date back to 1127, which is linked to the Wild Hunt. And if anyone knows of the Wild Hunt, it's a mythical folklore story of Sir Francis Drake leading a pack of phantom dogs through the wild wood. And if anyone doesn't know who Francis Drake is, you should check him out. He was an explorer, privateer, raiding gold from the Spanish. So this guy couldn't do no wrong. He was kind of like a pop icon of the time, and they say that Sir Francis Drake was somehow linked with with these phantom dogs in Britain. You know, so it's I think
he's brought them across for them.
Yeah, kind of. It's all steeped in mythology of the UK, isn't it? This dog.
Oh yeah, 100%. It's all over mainly down south, to be honest.
Yeah, like
when you look into the stories, but there is a lot of stories up in the northeast. Like I say, there's quite a few of the big black cat as well.
No, I haven't heard of the black cat.
Yeah, there was the one, and it was near Urbeth, which is over Durham way. And it was a couple. It's quite rural there, and it parked up to have a quick kiss and a cuddle, basically. Yeah. And this big black cat, he said it was huge. It jumped on the car, bonnet, stared at them, and then just jumped off and away. And obviously, it frightened the hell out of the pair of them. I think it was in the local paper at the time, if I remember rightly. The story, and there was a couple of sightings at the same time as well. Farmers had seen stuff in the fields around that area as well at the same time, and a lot of people were saying it was like a black lynx or something that escaped, or a black panther, sorry, going off the size of it, because it was actually quite a big size. But I remember at the time there was a lot of sightings around the country of big black cats. So you don't know. You know what I mean?
Of course.
Was that a real black cat, or was it just the same thing as I saw?
Or it could have been some shape-shifting thing, because I keep reading a lot of stuff about shape-shifting.
Skinwalkers and people like that.
Yeah, and those are equally as ominous and terrifying, you know. Do you know there's a place up in up in Northumberland? Is it Kettering, where there's like a firing range for the army?
Yes, I know what you mean. Yes, on the way to the borders.
Yeah, is that Kettering? Is it? Or I can't think now. I may have got that name wrong.
I can't remember now. I know it's on the way to Jedburgh, isn't it? Between like Newcastle and Jedburgh.
Well,
it's the army camp.
That's the one. Yeah, we were up there with Northumbria University. There was me and a couple of lads were doing like a short film, you know.
Yeah.
And we were actually staying in a farmhouse. Who a girl who we were with was his uncle. It was his farm. He says, "Yeah, guys, you can just stay here like as long as you want." So we're staying there for a few nights. We were shooting around the farm and at night, and all. It was all like really like an eerie place, you know. He says, "Don't go too far up, because there's a firing range, and there was like an old tank there, and there was all like ruins." So we did go further up. We set off about I'd say it was about 5 o'clock in the morning. It was just like dusk. The sun like hadn't came up yet.
Yeah.
And two of my friends were fiddling around getting the cameras out the bag, and I was just like looking across there, like the valleys and that. And yeah, I looked down on a hill, and then down the hill was deep forest, just trees, just like dense, like thick, you know.
Yeah.
And then I was just keep staring, just like kind of daydreaming, really, because I didn't really have anything to do apart from them getting the cameras out and putting the tripods up. And I kind of didn't want to get in the way, you know, so I was just like kind of staring into the woods. And I happened to see this a figure of a man running through the woods.
Right.
And at first I was like, what's that? Yeah. And I was like focused on it. And I was keep watching it, and then as I was focused, my eyes were starting to focus in. It was kind of running in and out of the trees, like it was like a shadow. Right.
Going fast as well.
It was fast, yeah. This thing, but it was elongated in white, and it must have been about, I've got to say, about 9 or 10 feet tall. And it was, you know, like the fantasy, is it the Slender Man?
Slender Man, yeah.
That's what it looked like.
Oof.
And I was like, what the is that? And I was keep staring. It was running through. I mean, it's got to be a good 10 to 15 seconds. And then I said to the lads, look, hey guys, can you see this? Look now, look what I'm looking at. And they're like, yeah, the bag like ruffling about. And then I was just keep watching it, and it just disappeared. It disappeared into the trees.
Oh.
And I thought, I'm so fucking pleased that this is our last morning, because I'm not hanging around this place.
Because you want to go.
I've got to go. I've got somewhere to be. I've got I got places I gotta be.
that sounds it could have been a ghost. It could have been a skinwalker. It could have been an alien.
I know. That's a kind of freaky thing. That's probably the most ominous thing I've seen.
Yeah.
Have you ever been back to the location called? I know you don't work there now, but have you ever felt the need to go back to the location?
I've actually been up there a couple of times with different various things, and not been actually inside and where the gate, but I've been next to it.
Mm-hmm.
And I always think it's the first thing that comes to my mind whenever I'm up there.
Yeah, I mean it's not.
I've never been there at night.
Yeah.
It's always been during the day. Never been there at night.
I think I'd like to go up and just kind of have a look around, you know.
Yeah.
With my camera.
It hasn't changed in years. It's just the same as it always was.
Yeah, I think I might go up and have a little look around just for research, you know.
Yeah, just that time in the morning, just you never saw anyone. No one was ever up there.
Mm-hmm.
The only time you saw someone was when if we ordered a takeaway and the man would come up.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like you say, a police car now and again. That was the only people who would go up them roads.
It's just
nowadays, I don't know if there's any factories work nights now because it's all changed up there, but I don't think there is. I think it's still. I would be interested to know if there is any ley lines around Washington, and they are in that area.
I think I've got to do a bit of research, and I've got a funny feeling that there's going to be something up there because if it's either appeared there or materialised there or whatever it's done, and just so happens that you've been there and you've locked eyes with it, and it's kind of gave you kind of a warning. I'm in fully control here, and basically you can't move.
Yeah. For them 15-20 seconds, that was it. It was just, let's say, pure fear. I don't know if it was trying to scare us, but it did.
It did, yeah. Has the sighting changed your views, Carl, on life? And if it has, can I ask how?
Not really on life. I did have beliefs, obviously, to be gran and stuff. I know my dad didn't. He was always staunched, don't want to talk about ghost aliens. Nothing like that exists. But I think he was like that because he might have seen something when he was younger, I've been told.
All right.
So something might have scared him. So changing, if that was the case, that makes sense why he was as he was. He didn't like talking about anything like that. But I was the opposite. It didn't put us off. I always had like inklings and feelings and interest, but that just made them even stronger.
Wow.
Obviously, I watch all the ghost things now. Not the ones that are not real.
Yeah.
I always take things with a pinch of salt, but there's a lot out there which can't be written off. You know what I mean?
Exactly. I mean, a few years ago, when I used to live on my own, and I used to watch like the Exorcist by myself, and I used to watch them all, you know. But
yeah,
and I just didn't blink an eyelid. I absolutely loved the horror, like the genre, and if it was gore, if it was supernatural. But now, as I've got a bit older, I cannot watch it. It's because it plays on my mind a bit too much.
Yes, yeah. I know what you mean.
And I just can't watch it. And I've got friends like that as well who all used to enjoy the horror movies. But now it's just I love watching about the Dogman and Bigfoot, and because I kind of love the wilderness, them going out, and you know you kind of watch these Bigfoot documentaries for hours, but like nothing ever happens ever. No. They don't see anything ever, do they?
No, they never catch anything or anything like that. But I do watch like YouTube videos, you know, where it's like the camping encounters and stuff like that. They're pretty much the same.
There's quite a lot of videos now on YouTube that have kind of seen a huge rise in the last like 5 years of mostly men going out camping by themselves.
Yes, yeah.
And then they always seem to experience something at night, don't they? They're always like something's outside, or they get like this ominous feeling. But I do think there's something in some woods. I don't know what it is, but I do think there's some kind of entity in woods that is kind of unexplainable.
Yes, yeah, I know what you mean. There's a few channels I've watched, and there's something happens every episode type of thing. But there's a few like shows I've watched where it shows you different channels, and it'll be like this guy's had 100 camping channels and nothing's happened in 99 of them.
Yeah.
But then in this one, he's had an experience, and they're the ones that get it. I think they're the ones you're looking at being true. Where they've heard something, or they've heard something's touched your tent and they've jumped out and there's nothing there. They're the ones that like make you on the back of your neck.
Definitely.
On the back of your neck and stuff like that. You know what I mean? They're the ones I like watching.
Yeah, mate. Carl, it's been absolutely great chatting. Is anything else that you want to talk about? Any other experiences you've had?
It's been nice talking to you.
Mate,
like I say, I'm letting you know if I hear anything else.
Please do. Or your friends. If you hear about any of your friends who are going to listen to this, and if they've had any experiences, please get in touch with Peep Magazine.
I will. No problem at all.
Thanks for your time, Carl.
No problem. I've enjoyed it. Thank you very much.
And you, mate. See you, pal. Take care.
Bye.
See you, pal.